Sometimes it's not the loud gestures that tell you someone wants you. It's the quiet ones, the ones that almost slip past you until your heart catches up and realizes something's happening beneath the surface. He hasn't said the words. He hasn't confessed. He hasn't made any grand declarations. But still, you feel it. In the way he looks at you when he thinks you're not watching. In the way his entire presence shifts the moment you enter the room. You tell yourself it's nothing, that you're overthinking, that he's just being polite. But somewhere deep inside, you know better. You know something's unfolding in silence. Because men, especially the ones who truly feel something, don't always speak it right away. Sometimes the feeling is too big for words. Or maybe he's unsure. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he's never felt this way before and doesn't know how to say it without ruining whatever quiet connection is already there. So instead of saying, "I want you," his body steps in and starts saying it for him. You begin to notice patterns. His eyes linger. His replies come faster than he wants them to. He stands just a little too close. He notices things others miss, like the fact that you wore your hair differently today, or that you were quieter than usual. And though he doesn't always say it, he shows it. In gentle touches, in small offerings, in nervous smiles, in fidgeting, in presence. Always, always presence. It's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. The signs are subtle, but consistent. They carry the weight of unsaid feelings and unspoken desire. And every time you think, maybe I'm imagining this, the universe gives you another little moment that says, no, you're not. This isn't about games. It's about human truth, the kind that lives in the space between words, where affection doesn't need sound to be real. So if you've ever caught yourself wondering, does he like me? Is he just being nice? Am I imagining it? Take a breath, look closer. Because when a man is silently telling you he wants you, his words might fail him, but his behavior won't. These are the 15 subtle ways he's trying to tell you, without saying a word, that you matter more to him than he's ready to admit. Let's begin. 1. He mirrors your movements without realizing it. He doesn't even know he's doing it. But when you cross your legs, so does he. When you rest your hand under your chin, a few moments later, his hand is there too. It's not on purpose, not rehearsed. It's instinctive. That's what makes it powerful. When a man starts to mirror you like this, it means his body is responding to yours, syncing in a quiet, invisible rhythm. There's no need for confessions or dramatic declarations. His body is already speaking, louder than his words ever could. You might catch it at the cafe during conversation. You shift in your seat, and so does he. You lean forward with interest, and he leans too, drawn in without even noticing. That silent pull, that alignment, isn't random. It's attraction in motion, subtle and unconscious. It's the kind of thing you only notice when you pause, look closely, and realize he's attuned to you, deeply. This mirroring doesn't mean he's copying you to be funny or playful. No. It's far more intimate than that. It's his nervous system responding to your presence, like his body is trying to meet you where you are. Emotionally, mentally, physically. Sometimes when two people feel connected, their gestures become like echoes. And when it happens repeatedly, when it becomes a quiet pattern, it's not coincidence. It's interest. It's chemistry. It's the way someone says, "I'm drawn to you," without saying anything at all. You might think, maybe I'm imagining this. But you're not. Because people don't mirror strangers. We don't unconsciously copy people we don't care about. His body is telling you what his lips haven't yet dared to say. And if you notice this, if you feel that rhythm, that alignment, chances are he's already hoping you'll feel it too. 2. He finds reasons to be near you, even in silence. He doesn't need a reason to talk. He just wants to be close. You'll notice it in the small moments, when everyone else scatters after a gathering, but he stays behind, standing quietly near you. He won't always start a conversation. Sometimes he doesn't say anything at all, but he stays. And that silence, it's not awkward. It's intentional, comfortable, almost like he's telling you, your presence is enough. It could be at work, a family dinner, or even at a cafe. He'll choose the seat closest to yours, not obviously, but just close enough to feel your energy. And when someone else offers him a different seat or asks him to join another group, he hesitates, maybe smiles politely, but somehow he stays near you. It's not loud or dramatic. It's quiet, but deliberate. You'll start noticing patterns. He appears in places he didn't need to be. He volunteers to help with things just because you're there. He lingers longer after meetings or events. Not in a pushy way, never like he's forcing something. He's just around, and the longer you pay attention, the more it starts to feel like gravity, like his world gently bends toward yours. There's something deeply telling about the way a man chooses proximity, especially when there's nothing in it for him except being there. Because closeness isn't always about physical touch. Sometimes it's about choosing silence beside someone and feeling like even that silence means something. A man who wants you but isn't ready to speak it yet will often let his presence speak first, again and again. It's not a grand gesture. It's the stillness that speaks volumes. And when he chooses to be near you without needing anything, without pressure, without performance, that's how you know. He's already saying, I want to be part of your space, without a single word. 3. He gives you long, lingering eye contact. There's a moment, just a second too long, when his eyes don't move away. It's not staring. It's deeper than that. It's as if he's looking through the moment, trying to hold on to it. When a man gives you long, lingering eye contact, especially in a room full of distractions, it's because you are the focus. You might glance at him and catch it. His eyes locked on yours, soft but intense, like he's saying something he can't quite say aloud. He won't always smile. Sometimes he'll look away quickly when you notice, almost embarrassed he got caught. But the next time you glance his way, there it is again. That same stillness in his gaze, that quiet pause in time. It's like he's memorizing you, the curve of your smile, the light in your eyes. Not in a creepy way, in a way that feels careful, intentional, like he doesn't want to rush the feeling. People look at things they admire, but when a man holds eye contact longer than necessary, when he lets his guard down for those few suspended seconds, it means there's something in you he's drawn to. Eye contact is one of the most vulnerable forms of connection, and when it lingers, it carries weight. It's a silent bridge between thoughts, between feelings, between all the words he hasn't spoken yet. And if it happens more than once, if those moments of unspoken energy keep surfacing, then believe this. He's not looking at everyone like that. That gaze is reserved. It's specific. It's filled with questions he hasn't asked, answers he's not ready to give, and a quiet hope that you feel it too. In a world full of fleeting glances, his eyes stay, and that's never by accident. 4. He remembers tiny details you casually mention. You might have said it just once, in passing, without much thought. Maybe you mentioned your favorite snack, the name of your childhood pet, or that one movie that makes you cry every time. And then one day, out of nowhere, he brings it up. Not dramatically, not to impress you, just naturally, like it mattered to him the moment you said it. That's the thing about men who are quietly into you. They remember. Not because they're trying to play a game or follow a script, but because they're actually paying attention to your voice, your stories, your world. It's subtle, but powerful. He notices the little things, the forgotten things, the things even your close friends don't always catch. Maybe you told him your favorite flower once, and weeks later, he casually walks in with it. No explanation, just a soft gesture. Or you mentioned being nervous about a meeting, and later, he asks, "How did it go?" Not because he had to, but because he cared to. It's not the memory itself that matters most. It's the fact that he chose to hold on to something small because you said it, and in his quiet way, he's showing you that your words linger with him, that your presence leaves an imprint. When someone's not that interested, they forget. But when a man is drawn to you, even if he hasn't said it yet, he holds your stories like small treasures. You'll see it in the way he circles back to old conversations, the way he notices when you change something about yourself, or how he surprises you with something you didn't think anyone heard. And when you realize he's been quietly collecting pieces of you, remembering, noticing, storing it away, that's when it hits you. He's listening not just with his ears, but with his heart. 5. He leans in when you speak, always. It doesn't matter if you're in a loud room or a quiet one. When you speak, he leans in. Not because he can't hear you, but because he wants to. Because in that moment, your voice becomes his focus. It's a small gesture, almost invisible if you're not watching closely, but it means everything. It says, "I want to be closer to you," without using a single word. You might notice it during casual conversations, at work, in a cafe, at a group gathering. Everyone else is sitting back, relaxed, distracted. But him, the moment you start talking, he shifts toward you, just a little. His posture changes. His shoulders angle in your direction. His attention narrows, like you're the only one in the room who matters. This isn't about politeness. It's about presence. About someone who's not just hearing you, but feeling you. Leaning in is a primal response. The body's way of moving closer to what it's drawn to. And when it becomes a pattern, when he does it every time you speak, it's because he's not just interested in what you say. He's interested in you. There's an unspoken intimacy in that space between your words and his listening. That gentle lean shortens distance. It invites connection. It signals safety, comfort, curiosity, and most of all, attention. Not the kind you ask for, the kind that's offered freely, instinctively. You may not have realized it the first few times, but once you do, it's hard to unsee it. The way he's always just a little closer than he needs to be. The way his eyes lock in when you talk, like you're revealing something sacred, even if it's just about your day. And when a man leans in without thinking, again and again, it's because some part of him already belongs in your orbit. He doesn't say it, but his body whispers it every single time. I want to be near your words, because they come from you. 6. His body is always slightly turned toward you. It's not the loud gestures that give him away. It's the subtle ones, like the way his body angles toward you, even when he's talking to someone else. He could be standing in a group, everyone facing forward or spread out, but his chest, his feet, or his shoulders, they're just slightly turned in your direction. Not dramatically, not in a way that demands attention, but enough to reveal where his interest really lies. This kind of body language is instinctive. Most people don't even realize they're doing it, but the body always follows the heart. When a man feels drawn to you, his posture reflects it. He may not be looking directly at you, but his body orients itself like it wants to be closer, like it's naturally pulled toward your presence. You'll notice it in the little things. He enters a room and stands at an angle where you're always in his line of sight. You sit down, and moments later, his body shifts. Knees pointing your way, arms relaxed, but directed toward you. Even when he laughs at someone else's joke, his torso subtly stays aligned with you, as if he's sharing the moment with you, not the rest of the room. And when people are unaware of how they're sitting or standing, those positions often tell the truth their words can't. A turned body is an invitation, a quiet signal that says, "This is where I want to be." And if he's doing it consistently, even when the conversation has nothing to do with you, even when there's no reason to, then it's not a habit, it's desire. He may never admit how he feels, not yet, but his body already knows. It orients toward warmth, toward comfort, toward you. And that soft, subconscious turn, that's his way of reaching for connection without ever saying it aloud. 7. He gets a little nervous or fidgety around you. There's a certain energy in the air when he's around you, and it's not always smooth confidence. Sometimes it's quiet tension, a subtle nervousness. You might notice his fingers tapping against his glass, his leg bouncing slightly under the table, or the way he adjusts his shirt collar for no reason. It's not awkward, it's endearing. Because behind that fidgeting, there's something deeper. He cares how you see him. When a man likes you but hasn't said it out loud, his body often gives it away. And that nervous energy, that's the pressure he feels to show up well, to not mess it up. You might catch him stumbling over a word, forgetting what he was saying mid-sentence, or laughing a little too hard at something simple. It's not because he's unsure of himself. It's because you throw him off balance, in the best way. Even the most confident men get that flutter when someone they genuinely admire walks into the room, because when the stakes are low, people are relaxed. But when he's around you, the stakes feel higher, emotionally, not logically. You're not just another person in the room. You're the person his heart gravitates toward. And that comes with adrenaline, with self-awareness, with small tells he can't quite control. Maybe he runs a hand through his hair more than usual, or checks his phone without looking at it, just to keep his hands busy. Or maybe he talks faster or slower, depending on how his nerves hit. But if you look closely, you'll see it. That flicker of excitement, that low hum of electricity under his calm. It's not a flaw, it's a sign. A very human, very real indicator that your presence shifts something in him. And he might not be ready to confess it yet, but the way he fidgets, hesitates, or stumbles when you're near, that's his silent heart, working hard to stay cool in front of the one person who makes him feel something real. 8. He subtly fixes his hair or clothes when you arrive. It happens in the blink of an eye. You walk into the room, and without even thinking, he runs a hand through his hair, straightens his shirt, adjusts the sleeves on his jacket. It's not a show, it's instinct, a silent, automatic response to you. He doesn't even realize he's doing it most of the time, but his body reacts like it wants to look just a little better, just a little sharper the moment you're near. It's in those seconds when he spots you. The quiet shift in posture, the way his expression softens, and he suddenly becomes more aware of himself. He might glance at a reflection, fix the collar of his shirt, or subtly check that his shoes are clean, not because he's vain, but because your presence makes him care more than he expected to. Men who aren't interested don't do this. They stay slouched, relaxed, unchanged. But the one who's drawn to you, he adjusts, not for everyone, just for you. It's the body's way of preparing, of saying, "Look at me," without ever asking out loud. He wants to appear composed, appealing, presentable, not because he needs to impress the world, but because you walked in. Even in casual settings, a group hangout, a workspace, a family dinner, you'll see it. That moment he perks up, subtly checks his breath, or straightens his shoulders when you join the room. These aren't acts of vanity. They're tiny, honest admissions of interest, of attraction, of quiet nerves. And the truth is, no one polishes themselves for someone they don't care about. So when he adjusts his hair, smooths his clothes, and steals one more glance to make sure he looks okay, believe it. That's not grooming. That's his silent way of telling you, you matter enough to make me want to be better, just by showing up. 9. He replies quickly, but pretends to be chill. It's almost funny how fast he replies. The moment your message pops up, he's already typing, and then stops, waits, edits, maybe even delays sending it by a few minutes, trying to look unbothered. But the truth is obvious. He couldn't wait to hear from you. He just doesn't want to make it too obvious. You might send something simple, a meme, a quick thought, even just, hey, and suddenly, he's there, online, active. The reply comes almost instantly, but it's crafted to feel relaxed, effortless. He might say, haha, yeah, or drop a casual emoji, trying to seem unfazed. But behind that chill tone is someone who was probably hoping you'd message all day. When a man isn't interested, he doesn't care when or how he responds. Hours can go by, days even. But when he's into you, even secretly, your message jumps straight to the top of his mind. He sees it, and everything else pauses for a second. But then, the hesitation kicks in. He doesn't want to look desperate. He wants to play it cool. So he waits. Just a little. Not too long. Just enough to seem casual, but not so long that he risks missing the moment. You'll notice it over time, how he's always around when you reach out, how his replies are always timed just right, fast, but not too fast, and how even when the conversation is light, he tries to keep it going, a question here, a comment there, like he's quietly investing in something he hopes will grow. It's not the words themselves that matter, it's the effort behind them. The way he holds back just enough to hide how excited he actually is. But you can feel it. In the timing, the energy, the way the conversation never quite dies when he's involved. Because deep down, that fast reply, that's his heartbeat showing. He's not chill. He just wants you to think he is, while hoping you never stop texting back. 10. He laughs more when you're around, even at silly things. It's subtle at first. Maybe you crack a small joke, not even your best one, and he laughs. A little longer than expected, a little louder. Then it happens again. You say something mildly funny, and his reaction feels warmer, like your words land deeper with him than they do with anyone else. It's not fake laughter. It's something softer. The kind that says, I just like being around you. Even when the joke isn't that clever, even when no one else laughs, he does. Because it's not really about the joke, it's about you. Your presence brings out something lighter in him. You'll notice how his smile shows up faster when you walk in, how he finds joy in the simplest things you say, like he's tuned into your frequency and it naturally lifts his mood. That laugh, the extra one, the unearned one, it's his way of being near you emotionally. It's a form of connection, a quiet signal that says, I enjoy this, I enjoy you. Even when he doesn't mean to do it, it happens. His walls drop, his guard softens. The sound of your voice, your energy, your expressions, they make his world feel lighter. And that laughter becomes a reflex. He might not even realize he's doing it. But you will. You'll feel the shift. The way the room feels different when you're both in it. And how, when he laughs, it's not always at something funny. Sometimes, it's just at the way you tilt your head, or the way you roll your eyes, or the way you speak with a certain rhythm. It's not about humor. It's about comfort, attraction, that emotional ease that makes someone laugh just because you said it. And when a man finds joy in the sound of your voice, in the little things you say, in the smallest moments you share. His laughter becomes more than just a reaction. It becomes a quiet confession, one he's not ready to say out loud yet, but his smile says it every time. 11. He notices changes in your look and quietly appreciates them. You didn't announce it. You didn't make a big deal. Maybe you changed your hairstyle, wore a new shade of lipstick, or picked an outfit you weren't sure about. But the moment he sees you, something in his expression shifts. His eyes linger for just a second longer. There's a flicker of recognition, of quiet admiration, even if he doesn't say a word. And that's what makes it real. He notices, even in silence. He won't always compliment you outright. Sometimes he just looks, really looks, and you feel it. Like his gaze softens, like he's seeing you again for the first time. Maybe he pauses mid-sentence when you walk in. Maybe he smiles a little differently, like he's proud to have noticed before anyone else. That gentle attention isn't loud. It's focused and intentional. You'll start to catch it. That small double take when you change your earrings. The way his eyebrows raise slightly when your nails are a new color. Or how he subtly glances over you when you're wearing something different. Not in a way that feels uncomfortable, but in a way that feels like appreciation. He doesn't have to say, "You look beautiful," every time. His stillness, his eyes, his quiet reaction, it says it for him. Men don't notice these things unless they're paying attention, unless they care. A casual observer might miss the new highlights in your hair or the extra glow in your skin. But someone who's drawn to you, he notices the small stuff, the effort you put in, the parts of yourself you think no one sees. And in that silent recognition, in that moment where he sees you and appreciates you without needing to speak, that's when you know. His interest isn't surface level, it's deeper, it's tuned in, it's real. Because when a man cares, he doesn't just admire your beauty. He notices when it changes. And he cherishes it without saying a thing. 12. He offers quiet help without asking, like opening doors or bringing water. He doesn't make a show of it. He doesn't announce, "Look what I did for you." Instead, he simply does it. You're walking toward a door, and before you even reach for the handle, it's already open. You mention feeling a little tired, and minutes later, he quietly sets down a glass of water beside you. No words, no explanation, just presence, thoughtful, aware, and always a step ahead of your need. These aren't grand gestures, they're small ones, but they come from a place of real care. He doesn't wait for you to ask. He notices. And that's the difference. It's not about being impressive, it's about being attuned. He's paying attention, reading your cues, anticipating how to make you feel more comfortable without invading your space. It's soft support, offered without pressure. You might be carrying something heavy and suddenly his hand is there, steadying it. Or maybe you're at a crowded event and he makes sure you get a seat before even finding his own. These aren't the actions of someone trying to win attention. They're the actions of someone who already values you, quietly, consistently. And what makes it even more meaningful is that he expects nothing in return. He's not doing it for praise or for points. He's doing it because he wants to. Because it brings him peace to know you're okay, to know you're seen, and to offer, even in silence, a little ease to your day. When a man cares, truly cares, he doesn't just listen with his ears. He listens with his actions, and those quiet helps, those simple, unnoticed kindnesses, they are his way of saying, "I see you, I'm here, and I want to make your life just a little lighter, even if you never ask." 13. He finds excuses to touch you, gently, respectfully. It's never aggressive, never too much. Just a gentle brush of your hand when passing you something, or a light touch on your back as he guides you through a crowded space. It's subtle, almost accidental, but it happens often enough that you start to wonder, is this on purpose? And the truth is, it probably is. Because when a man is drawn to you, his body starts finding reasons to be near yours. Not in a way that crosses boundaries, but in a way that speaks of quiet longing. He might laugh and lightly tap your arm, or stand close enough that your shoulders graze without either of you pulling away. Maybe he fixes something on your collar, moves a strand of hair from your face, or rests his hand on your lower back for just a moment, not holding, not claiming, just feeling. These touches are small, but they're intentional. You can tell the difference. A man who isn't interested will respect your space, but he won't reach for it. A man who is will still respect your space, but he'll find ways to connect within it. Not every second, not all the time. Just enough that his touch becomes a kind of language, one that says, I'm here, I notice you, I want to be closer. And it's not just about the physical contact, it's about how gentle it is, how respectful. He never pushes, never assumes. He waits for your comfort, tests the waters, and moves with care. That's what makes it feel safe and meaningful, because sometimes words fall short, and in those fleeting feather-light touches, the ones that linger in your memory more than they should, he's already saying everything he's afraid to voice. I like you. I'm drawn to you. I want to feel close, even if it's just for a second. His friends act different around you, like they know something. You walk into the room and suddenly there's a shift. His friends glance at each other, then at you. Maybe one of them smirks. Another raises their eyebrows ever so slightly. No one says anything directly, but the air feels charged, like you just entered the middle of a silent inside joke. And in a way, you have. Because when a man truly likes you, his friends usually know before you do. They tease him in subtle ways when you're around. Maybe they nudge him when you speak, or give him a knowing look when you laugh at one of his jokes. You might even hear them say things like, "You coming, or are you waiting for someone?" With a grin that doesn't need explaining. They're not just being playful. They're pointing to something he hasn't said out loud yet. Something he's probably shared with them when you weren't there. Friends can be the clearest mirror to someone's feelings. They pick up on his energy when he talks about you. They notice the way he lights up, the way he drops your name in casual conversations, the way he checks his phone a little more when he's waiting for your reply. So when you finally show up, they're already watching, curious, amused, supportive, or protective, depending on what they know. And sometimes, it's what they don't say that speaks the loudest. They might give you space in a group setting without being asked, or leave the two of you alone with a casual "we'll be over there" that feels a little too convenient. They might not say he likes you, but their behavior says, you matter. He's mentioned you, and we're watching this unfold. You may not know what he's told them, but their reactions, the looks, the quiet smiles, the way they shift when you're near, are his unspoken confessions echoing through their silence. Because when his friends treat you like someone special, it's usually because he already has. 15. He looks at you when you're not looking, then quickly looks away. You're busy talking to someone else, scrolling through your phone, or simply lost in a moment. And that's when it happens. His eyes find you, not in a casual glance, but in a still, quiet gaze that holds for just a second too long. He's not trying to get your attention. In fact, he hopes you don't notice. Because in that fleeting moment, when he thinks you're not looking, he lets the truth show in his eyes. And when you do catch him, when you look up and see his gaze locked on you, he looks away quickly. Not because he's guilty, but because he was exposed. That second, that unguarded glimpse, revealed more than he meant to. It wasn't calculated. It wasn't about playing it cool. It was real, raw, honest. A silent admission. He's watching you because he cares. You'll start to recognize it. That pattern of catching him just a heartbeat late. The way he seems a little caught off guard when your eyes meet his. Sometimes he'll smile to cover it. Other times, he'll pretend to be focused on something else. His phone, his drink, a random object in the room. But you already saw it. That look that says you're his favorite view, even if he can't say it out loud.